you were saying the word beauty and the word value, it almost sounded like you were using it interchangeably on this like relationship between beauty and value. How much overlap do you see there?
I think they're somewhat equal. I think beauty is very related to value, I think in a very intimate way because, well, beauty is one of those things where I'll start with this. I'm sure everyone has probably had this kind of experience. Say, for example, when you're standing on the beach and you're seeing a sunset, or you walk into one of those ancient 500,000-year-old cathedrals in Europe, or you're listening to live symphonic music. Like those moments where you just get goosebumps, like literal chills up and down your body. Moments like those are proof that beauty is beyond you. Like beauty is not something you choose to see and register and react. Beauty happens to you. Beauty is a reaction. It's not a product of reason. It's something that happens. You see it and then you are overcome by it. I'm just trying to think and talk at the same time. So, for example, when Immanuel Kant said something like beauty is the sign of the morally good, well, in a way that's quite literally true because beauty is a portal into the greater good. Beauty is terrifying and beauty, we want to look at it, yet we want to look away from it because when we see something that is more beautiful and we know is more beautiful, it's kind of like that thing of beauty is saying to us, I'm closer to perfect than you are, and this is how far away you are, and this is how much you could still work on. The reason why beauty shocks us is because it reflects back at us everything we are inadequate. It kind of makes us see that this is the ideal of what things could be like, but it's not. And I can't help but think about Beauty and the Beast, the cartoon. Well, her name is literally Beauty in English, like Belle in French. So it's interesting because I think the entire Disney movie can kind of be taken from a very psychological standpoint, which is if beauty is good, if Belle represents the morally good and the just, which she is, right? Like she's diligent. She wakes up before the entire village. She bakes bread. She reads books. Like there's nothing wrong with this girl. Like she's literally a 10. She's kind of the ideal of not just a woman, but of a human, right? Like everyone loves Belle. Everyone thinks that she's great. And well, we know that she gets together with the beast. And Carl Jung would say that the beast represents the shadow of man. If Belle is the good parts of us, then Beast is the shadow of a human psyche. You know, he's aggressive. He has to be locked up because he can't control his aggression. Who knows what he'd do if we let him run wild in the village, right? But what we see is that Belle becomes more beautiful when she is with the Beast. The good parts of us become even better when we integrate it with our shadow. There's a critical scene in that movie where Gaston, the other pursuer, this very narcissistic macho guy, who by the way represents the persona because he's the kind of guy that would sacrifice everything for status and for the ladies, for whatever the town people want to see him as. And he goes after Belle's father. And the reason why that's significant is because if Belle is the daughter of her father, that also means that beauty is the child of God, because beauty is your portal into the ideal goodness, the ultimate accumulation of good conscious being. That is colloquially and culturally what we mean by God when we refer to the divine, the heavens. I think that scene means a lot to me because when we see that Gaston goes after her father, we see that people actually do this a lot, which is people will do anything for their persona. They will sacrifice their relationship with God. They will sacrifice their ability to tell the truth for the sake of status, for the sake of their image, for the sake of how they want to be seen. I think there's a very intimate relationship between truth, beauty, and value as in something that's truly good. Like truly, truly in the positive valence.